Let's review for the week. We'll be looking at angles and polygons. The first part is how to measure an angle. We can use a protractor for this, but I mentioned that the way I'm going to be doing this on the homework, I'm going to be providing a picture like this. Now I'll be specific on which angle I'm talking about. Find the measure of angle BOD. So for us to connect, if I connect the points B with O and D, I'm talking about this angle. That's the angle I'm talking about. And for me to know the measurement of an angle, I look at the numbers where it crosses the protractor. If I look at the outside numbers, I cross here to 90 and I cross here to 150. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract the numbers. If I'm looking at outside numbers, I'm going to subtract them. Since I want my angle to be positive, I'm going to start with the big number. I'm just going to say 150 minus 90, and that happens to equal to 60. Now, what if I want to use inside numbers only? The inside numbers, I have a 90 here, and I have a 30 here. I'm looking at the inside numbers. So if I'm going to use the inside numbers, I'm going to go 90 minus 30, that happens to equal to 60. So it doesn't matter if I use outside numbers or inside numbers. My result should be the same. Now, the only thing though, make sure you're using outside numbers only or inside numbers only. Do not mix and match. Now, looking at the measurement angle B here, I'm going to be looking at, for example, number 1, so complementary angles. Number 19 and 20, I'm going to call them complementary because these are two angles that add up to 90. I see that here it is 31, and here's angle B. I'm just going to say that B plus 31 is equal to 90. Now, to get B by itself, right, I'm going to separate it through the equal sign. My positive 31, I'm going to move it to the other side. When I move something to the other side, I use opposite sign. So instead of a plus, I wrote minus. So I'm going to get B equals 90 minus 31 happens to be 59. So my angle equals 59. When you type it in my homework, don't go B equals 59. Just type the number 59. Looking at question number 20. I notice angle B and angle 47, they're also complementary. They add up to 90. I'm just going to go B plus 47 is equal to 90. Again, I separate them through the equal sign. My 47, let me move it over as a minus 47. I use opposite sign. So B equals 40. Right, 90 minus 47 equals 43. When you type this in my homework, just type in as 43. Now looking at number 21. There's 72 degrees, and this is angle B. As a matter of fact, they make the angle of a line. I see the two arcs, it's half of a circle. So these angles are supplementary. That means that the two angles, if I add them up, equals 180. Now the 72, let me move it over as a minus 72. So in this case, I get B equals 108. Right, 180 minus 72 is 108. When you type in my homework, just type in 108. Now looking at question number 22, I have 94 degrees there, and I have B there. So I'm looking at supplementary again. I have the B plus 94 is equal to 180. Let me subtract 94. 180 minus 94 happens to be 86. So B equals 86. Now looking at number 23, I have the 295 degrees. I have this big arc is 295. If I add it to B and I add it to 40, so I'm saying 295 plus B plus 40. If I add everything, I see that it makes a whole circle. A whole circle is equal to 360. Now, on the left side of the equal sign, I can combine 295 plus 40. use a calculator if possible, or if necessary, I mean. 295 plus 40 happens to be 335, plus b is equal to 360. My 335, let me move it over as a minus 335. 360 minus 335 is 25. So b equals 25. I'm just going to type in 25. Same thing with number 24. I see this whole arc is 298. I added to 28 and added to b. So I have 298 plus 28 plus b equals 360. 298 plus 28, that's 326. I'm just going to write 326 plus b equals 360. Let me subtract 326. So 360 minus 326, that is 34. So measurement angle B is 34. Lastly, let's take a look at this. Write the name of each polygon. I'm going to count the sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This figure has 9 sides. So I'm going to call it nonagon. Looking at number 26, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This polygon has 5 sides. So I'm going to call this pentagon. Remember my lecture Polygon, I do go over the list. So if you don't remember, take a look at that video. And lastly, let's take a look at this. State if each polygon is concave or convex. Let me think of a diagonal. Diagonals when I connect two corners, with the exception of the sides, obviously, but let me think of a diagonal. That's when I connect two corners. I could think of that diagonal because part of it, it could be the whole diagonal, but as long as part of it goes outside of the picture, I'm going to call this concave. Right? If the whole diagonal goes outside of the picture, obviously concave. All I'm looking at, as long as I have a diagonal that touches part of the outside of the figure, that is concave. Looking at number 28, I could think of this diagonal. It doesn't go out. I could also think of this other diagonal. It doesn't go outside of the picture, right? Those are the diagonals possible, and none of them go outside of the picture. So I'm going to call this concave.